Israel also bombs Gaza. And yeah, thank you very much for listening.
Jazakallah Khadija, that was so nice. Thank you for explaining it in detail. Now we've got Umar, who's going to be telling the stories of a Palestinian.
Well, how about before Omar starts, how about everybody introduce yourselves? Everybody who's joining us in the chat box. And maybe those the comment readers can read the comments. I think Juan Mads and Mehveen, if you could read the salams from everybody. Please tell us where you're joining from. Do you know anybody here? So please let us know in the comments.
Hi everyone. Salams. Salam and hello everyone. This is Wanda and this is my son Noah. We're calling from Australia.
Walaikum assalam, Sister Wanda. Welcome. Okay.
Sabrina says Assalamu alaikum. This is Sabrina.
That's my teacher. I'm talking.
Okay. Carry on, Mehveen. Keep reading. They're coming.
Hi, my name is Zara. I'm 9 and I'm joining from the UK. Assalamu alaikum. I'm joining from Italy. Nuh H. Chema. And Sabrina says, really looking forward. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Husna and I'm from Malaysia. We're Mina and Abdullah from London. Join from Abu Dhabi. Sabrina. Salam, I'm from Sweden. So nice to see you rising here. Salams, this is great. This is Rayhan. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Musa and I've been here before from Australia. This is Beanish from United States and I'm proud of aunt of Ayat and Hadra. I am Hashim and I'm joining from Australia. And Beanish Zishan says, Aka, I'm Beanish from Australia.
Okay, keep saying salams. Do introduce yourselves. Okay, let's carry on. Back to you, Ayat. So who are we going to?
Now we have Umar, who's going to be telling a story of a Palestinian, Khadija's brother.
Okay.
Hey, we got more comments from people. Like,
yeah, we'll come back to that, Mehveen, after Omar's story. Yeah. Omar, we can't hear you. I think you are speaking probably, right? Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Wait. Assalamu alaikum. I am Omar, and I'm gonna tell you a story about a Palestinian person and her story. In 2004, a family was living in a construction site, but the neighborhood got hit by the Israeli strikes, and they had to take refuge before having to move again for a third time after the area was hit. After the stop, the family stayed in a building that didn't have a lot of hygiene and washings, while the women didn't have any privacy. There was no fresh water in the building, and private suppliers had to come to give in a few neighborhoods fresh, clean water. But their family had to walk 300 meters to fetch fresh water. The chores, baths, and the cooking had to be done with salty water from the administration. The hygiene caused loads of illnesses in the building and caused health issues and skin problems. Thank you for listening to this story. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair, Omar, for that story. of a Palestinian sister.
That was very good. Now we've got Rija, who's going to be saying a story about a child.
Today I'm going to be telling you a story of a Palestinian boy. So this is a boy, his name is Dia, and he's 16 years old in Austin, West Bank. Dia woke up to a thunderous banging and shouting at the front door at 3 a.m. Dia's parents can only watch the Israeli military drag away Dia in a military jeep. He said that he won't move until he says goodbye to his parents, but for saying these words, he got beaten up by the Israeli army. Dia told later that the Israeli army forced him to give false confession, which is a norm for Israeli army with Palestinian children. Among the most troubling of his experiences were keeping him alone for many days in a small cell, something that is only used for convicted adults. Dia remembers about a time when he was thrown in a cell alone for 15 days. During that time, he was questioned for hours, multiple times with his feet and hands bound to a low metal chair. He shared that one of the jailers used to beat him up to the floor and punch him in the head with no mercy at all, until his false confessions was left unattended on the floor. These all are real stories. I hope we can stop Israeli illegal occupation. And you all do your part to raise voice. I hope one day world will be full with peace and there will be no more injustice. I want Palestine to be free, and I know every sane person in this world too. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Rija. That was very good. Now we have Tanzia, who's going to be sharing a slideshow which is of children who passed away in the last war.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Tanzil. I'm going to start the presentation, remembering the departed souls. So first we have Muhammad Alami. He died at the age of 12 on 29 July, the most recent one. 12-year-old Muhammad was killed after being shot at by a bullet fired by an IDF soldier. Next, Muhammad Sabi Ibrahim Suleiman. He died in the 11-day war. His age was 15 on 10th May. An Israeli drone fired a missile and killed the 15-year-old Muhammad Sabi Ibrahim. Shortly after 6 p.m., while he and his father, Sabi Ibrahim Mahmoud Suleiman, were on their farmland outside the city of Jabila. Both were killed instantly. Yazid Sultan Muhammad al-Masri, his age was 2 when he died. Yazan Sultan Muhammad al-Masri was killed alongside her cousin in a blast which claimed the lives of 6 Palestinian children and 2 adults. Hussein Munir Hussein Hamad, his age was 10, he died on 10th May at Beit Hanun, Gaza. Hussein Munir Hussein Hamad was 11 when he was killed in the same strike that killed 5 members of the al-Masri family. Hala Hussein Rafat Rifi, her age was 13. She died on 12th May in Gaza City. 13-year-old Hala Hussein Rafat Rifi was killed in an overnight Israeli airstrike. Khalid Iman Khalid Kanu, his age was 17 when he died. He died on 13th May. An Israeli drone fired a missile, killed Khalid Imad on 13 May near the Gaza perimeter fence on North Gaza's Isbat Beit Hanun. This is the youngest death. His age was only 7 months. He died on 13th May in Rafah, Gaza. Details: an Israeli strike killed 6-month-old Ibrahim Muhammad when a warplane fired a missile at a 3-story home in the Jinneh neighborhood of Rafah. Lina Muhammad Mahmoud Isa, her age is 13, died on 13th May. Al-Burej, location in the Al-Burej refugee camp in Gaza. 13-year-old Lina Muhammad Mahmoud Isa was killed along with her mother Manar after their home was completely destroyed by a missile. Then Hur Mu'min Jamal Al-Zamili, age 2, died 13th May, location Rafah, Gaza. An Israeli warplane attacked Jamal Al-Zamili's 2-story home in Tanur neighborhood of Rafah, killing 2-year-old Hur Mahmoud Jamal Al-Zamili and her mother Khulud. Maryam Aila Muhammad Abu Hattab, age 7, died May 15th, location Al-Shati refugee camp, Gaza. 7-year-old Maryam Aila Muhammad Abu Hattab was killed by a missile fired by Israeli warplanes. Amir Rami Riyad Al-Ifrani, age 9, died 16th May, Gaza City. Details: Amir Rami Riyad Al-Ifrani was killed by an airstrike on central Gaza. Thank you.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. These are lives that are lost that today we're remembering. Of course, their families will never forget them, but those who killed them, I want everybody to forget about them, right? Just move on with our lives and forget what happened. But the impact of that attack and so many attacks that constantly happen there, you can see how it, just innocent children just like you guys, right? Alhamdulillah, first of all, thank Allah for this blessing that we all have of peace, that you don't have that threat, right? Alhamdulillah. What an incredible blessing. And then think about those who don't have that, right? And those enemies, those who are killing them, want us to forget about them. Okay, attack happened, let's move on. Everybody forgets about Palestine. Only when there is a war, we think of it, we remember it, and then we forget about it. But that's why we are gathering here today, right? That's why these guys, mashallah, I'm so impressed that I know it's been a little while since the war, but when we started Rising Heroes, these guys decided that we want to raise awareness, we want to help Palestinians. And past 6, 7, 8 weeks, they brainstorm ideas, they research what's happening there, and they came up with this idea of an online protest to gather all of us together and talk about what has happened there, not forget about what's happened there, and educate others about what's happening there, inshallah. So, and alhamdulillah, today especially, it's a blessing that we are joined here by a sister from Palestine, from Gaza, who will tell us more about life there, inshallah. So Jazakallah khair again for everybody coming here. Please make dua for those children who have lost their lives, especially make dua for those who are left behind, their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, and their sisters, who must be going through extreme pain right now. And may Allah protect the rest of them. Okay, back to you, Ayat.
Okay, now Samiha is going to introduce something for you, a competition.
I made a website to raise awareness about what's happening in Palestine. And
yes, please share your screen, Samiha, so you can show everybody the website you have created.
Yep. Can you see my screen?
It's loading.
Can you see it now?
No, it's still, yeah, it's there now.
Okay, 1 second. So, you won't, this is my home page, and let me just read it out to you. Palestine is in need. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been going on since 1948. Many Palestinians have either lost their homes or died as a result. That's why they need your help to achieve their freedom. So this is talking about what's special about Palestine. Visitors will quickly learn that there is far more to Palestine besides being the heart of the Holy Land. It's also home to mouth-watering cuisine, fantastic wines, expensive deserts, centuries-old relics, Bedouins, historic cities, and even the famous Dead Sea. Palestine is also known for the famous Al-Aqsa Mosque. This was the first Qibla which Muslims all around the world would pray towards. Unfortunately, due to the war raging in Palestine, this landmark may be in danger. We can fix this with your help. This is our protest. Right now, this is an online protest, but you can also email us at support@imanpower.com for protest time and suggestions. This is our
It's here now, so.
So, this is our competition, and the winner will get a $10 gift card. Make a poster, poem, or a video about Palestine and email it to us at support@imanpower.com for a chance to win. And that's it. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, so I'll just reiterate that. So we are giving $10 gift cards because we really want you guys to be more involved. Mashallah, you can see a lot of you are kids here, and you can see rising heroes who, they could have been playing Roblox right now. And past 7 weeks that they have worked to create this, they did, but they chose to dedicate their time. Mashallah, Khadija and Omar, they are in Canada. They are up at 5 a.m. every week to join, their team and prepare this for you. And so you can see dedication from other kids your age, and we would like to see the same from you, for those children in Palestine, for your brothers and sisters in Palestine. So for that reason, these guys came up with this idea of doing a challenge, which Samiha just announced to you. And Iman Power has put up the prizes for you. So we would like you to make a poster or a video or a poem and send it to us at support@imanpower.com. How much time do they have, Samia? A week, was it? Yeah. Was it 2 days? Sorry? Week.
Yes, it was a week.
Yeah. Okay, a week you have, and you can email to support@imanpower.com. Make a poster, write a poem. I'm gonna hear some beautiful poem from Ishal in a minute, and or you can make a video, and inshallah we'll put it up on Iman Power's Facebook page as well, what you have created to spread more awareness about what's happening. You should share it around so people don't forget, right? That's what Israel counts on, that, and people are gonna forget about it. They're not gonna care. But alhamdulillah, we see over the years, more and more people are finding out about it and care about it, and we want to keep increasing that. So inshallah, soon Palestine is completely free. Okay. So back to Ayat. We'll put the link, email in the chat box for those of you like to submit for the $10 gift card. They will be, we'll select the best ones, inshallah, and we'll give them the prizes. Okay. So Ayat.
Okay, so now we've got Ahsan, who's going to be asking everyone questions about this Palestinian question.
So Ehsan has a discussion segment, but you guys want to hear from you. Before we do the discussion, how about Ayat, we do Ishal? Is sister from Gaza here, Ishal?
Yes,
Okay, great. So let's do that. So we don't keep her waiting longer. And because we also don't know, like in Gaza, I don't know if you get, maybe Ishal will talk about it. There's a huge problem with electricity and internet there as well. So now that she's here, let's move on to you, Ishal. Over to you.
Right.
So would you like to tell us your poem first and then start interviewing her?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Example of the poem. Yeah. So I made a whole illustration.
So this is an example for you guys.
Yeah. So this is a dua, hands praying for Masjid al-Aqsa, and this is the poem.
Great.
Okay.
Can make a poster like that and send to us. And go ahead, Ishal, share your poem.
Israel so strong but also wrong. Israel so strong but also wrong. Palestinians can die, but Allah will reply. Israel you will see soon. Allah is al-Mu'minun.
Okay, very nice. Jazakallah khair. Okay, mashallah. Okay. Would you like to begin your interview with Sister Sarah? Yeah. If you can find her, where is she? Sister Sarah, if maybe you could raise your hand, it'll make us easier for us to find you. Sister Sarah, if you could raise your hand. Like, oh, there you are. Okay, found you. Okay, so assalamu alaikum, welcome to today's online protest. Jazakallah khair for your time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I just want to say at the beginning, like, I'm really thankful for all of you guys, and just seeing how much work you put in for this is just making me feel supported, and that other people really care about what's going on here in Gaza and in Palestine. So thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, Ishal, let's begin your interview with her.
Okay, so as I introduced myself, my name is Ishal Khan, and I'm a Gaza citizen, and her name is Sarah Yusuf. So let's start. So the first question is, like, what are the sufferings you have in Palestine? Like,
So first of all, I'm an 18 Palestinian girl. I live in Rafah in Gaza Strip. So the struggles, we have been struggling even before 1948 as Palestinians. And it started with expelling the Palestinians from their homeland and forcing them to leave it, and then denying that their country has ever existed. And since then, it's an existence conflict that, because Israel has based on killing, ethnic cleansing, and apartheid. We cannot move out freely. We cannot even in our home country, we cannot move or travel. We have no electricity, no enough water or food, clean water or food, no enough job opportunities for people.
I think our connection dropped out. We'll have to be a little bit patient. As I said, these things are not easy in Gaza to connect from there, but we appreciate it that Sister Sarah's trying. Sorry, Sister Sarah, your audio dropped out completely. If you could please, we can't hear you. Sister Sarah, we can't hear you anymore. I don't think she can hear me. Maybe you can try disconnecting and connecting again. Maybe it's something's. Yeah. So guys, it wasn't easy. It's not easy for people from there to connect with the rest of the world. As we know, Gaza has a total blockade that they cannot move out of the city. Electricity, how many hours was it, guys, that your research found out? How many hours a day do they have electricity?
2 to 3 hours.
I think it was 3 hours a day.
3 hours a day they have electricity, right? Imagine living like that. Yeah. So Hamda, she's trying, so she's back. Let's see if Sister Sarah. Okay, yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
So I have survived more than 4 wars, and not mentioning the other escalations and tensions that has been going on. And yeah, that's some of the major struggles that we have.
Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khair, I understand. And hearing these sufferings are really sad to hear, because comforted. Now the second question, where do you get food from? Like, do you go to a grocery store or stock up or something?
So for utilities, so I don't know if you know this, guys, but we have like kind of 2 governments. Like, so we have the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank, and then we have Hamas in Gaza. And there has been some conflict between these 2 sides. But in general, we get money from the Palestinian Authority, which like depends on donations and help from other countries like the Gulf countries and the European Union. And we have the UNRWA, which is a United Nations organization that was indicated to help the Palestinian refugees. So each 3 months, we get like something like a food supplement for the refugees that are living in the refugees camps. And other goods too enter from 2 cross areas. One is called Rafah cross area with the Egyptian borders, and the other one is Erez or Beit Hanun's cross area with the Israeli side. So yeah, those are the 2 only sides that we can get out or in Gaza.
It's nice to know that you have some help in Palestine.
Yeah.
So, moving on, being a Palestinian, how do you cope with the fear of war, like your house being attacked? Like, how do you cope with it?
Being a Palestinian, and I'm not sure if you ask about being a Palestinian and a Muslim or asking about COVID. Can you repeat the question?
It was, how do you cope with the fear of a war happening? Like maybe you're sleeping. How do you cope with the fear?
It's really scary, and you really just keep wondering if you're the next kid to be killed, or your house gonna be bombed, or and I pray for all of yours like peace, and I wish that none experience the horror and the terror that I have seeing like other like kids being killed and bombed, and their houses, my school got bombed and got damaged from the war, and my neighbor's house got bombed, and just only for being Palestinian, I think that was really scary and that was not fair for them. And yeah, I just keep wondering, why is that happening to us? But yeah, I just ask Allah for patience and for strength just to hold on. And yeah.
Oh, you're very brave. It's really hard just knowing that you're just trying to stay calm in your house and
Thank you.
So, question 4. Being a Muslim, my thoughts are Palestinians have a lot of faith on Allah. They're like so connected to Allah. How?
How do you not lose hope and stay hopeful in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is that your question?
Yes.
Yeah. Great question. So Sister Sarah, how do you stay hopeful in Allah? Like, you know, so many of us, it seems situation seems like completely hopeless. Like, how do you stay faithful and have iman and not begin questioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like that, but have hope in him still after so many years? And
you know, every day we wake up and say that it will never get worse than it is, but it always does. But I don't know what is the secret, but I feel like God has chosen us to fight this fight. Like I think every time he gives us the patience, the perseverance to fight for our rights, for our existence, for just to defend our homeland, and for the religious status and that it has, and yeah, like since the 1948, the Israeli Gans have been saying that elder people will die and younger people will forget. But here we are, 70 years, like more than 70 years, and we are still fighting. And I feel like, yeah, I think God has chosen us for this.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they are wrong about it, right? That younger people will forget. That's what they're saying, as we were talking about it earlier, that they think we'll just forget about them. But here you are, the next generation, as you can see, and you yourself, Sarah, you're just 18. Here you are remembering and standing up for Palestinian rights. And alhamdulillah. And this is a community from all around the world, not one particular country. So may Allah reward you, Sarah, for standing up for your country, raising your voice, and everybody who is here, who decided to show up because you care about Palestine. Okay, Ishal, your next question.
Yeah, I'm really thankful for you guys and for what you do continuously and for standing up.
Jazakallah khair. May Allah reward you for your patience and strength. This is an inspiration to all of us. You know, we often complain about little things and lose hope in Allah about little things. This is their life and death. This is generations, and they have not lost hope in Allah. They're only growing. Palestine overall, I feel like Palestinians are growing so much. If you look at in the past few years, they have grown much more stronger in Iman. We see it in the practice of the deen and so much more. The Palestinians have grown so much closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their Iman has only increased, not decreased because of the situation. Do you agree, Sarah? You feel it has increased your Iman in being in this situation?
Yeah. Yes, it's absolutely, because I believe like Allah we did it, paradise, Jannah, inshallah, and we will get reward from Allah for our patience and for holding tight in our land. And
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, Ishal? Next question.
So I think that I'm pretty sure everyone here is with you, and we're all praying for you. What do you think about everyone else in the world?
So a lot of governments are helping us and standing up with us. And what I really liked, like the free people out there, like you and the whole people at Rising Heroes and other people around the world who are just and raising awareness and telling their families, their friends, that when we were under attack, and the Pope.
I think connections problem again. You guys feel free to share your thoughts. If you have any questions that you would like to ask Sarah, you can put it in. We will ask it for you. Ishal can ask it for you. Wait for Sister Sarah to connect back again. Yeah, I think this time she got disconnected. Okay, inshallah, she'll connect back. Maveen, maybe you can read some of the comments in the meanwhile.
Okay. Palestine on top, Israel on the bottom. You are still thankful with what you are going through, and we not, mashallah. They're just saying like just a few things, and yeah, that.
What was that? We should learn to be more grateful for our freedom. One, Muad, do you want to read some of the previous comments while she's joining in? Oh,
Can
she's
you hear
back.
me
Sister
now?
Sarah is back. Yeah. Yes, sorry.
The internet is so bad. I'm sorry for you guys.
No, no worries. All be patient. We really appreciate that you are managing despite that. So go ahead. If you could please repeat your answer, I'll appreciate that. So you were talking about other countries.
Yeah. So, I was saying that when the war ended, I thought, or if it like the hashtags or the posts were not going as viral, or like people stopped talking about it. But yeah, and I hope that we just keep raising awareness, keep posting about it, and keep telling people, because even if there's no war, the apartheid is still going on, and the building of the settlements, the oppression and the torturing, the sieging is still going on. The struggle is continuing. So yeah.
Yeah. Very important point. It says, that there is a war and people are dying, and then everybody is talking about Palestine and everybody cares about Palestine and it's back in our attention. But as soon as the war, there's a ceasefire, as Sister Sarah was saying, the hashtags and everything stops dying. We move on with our lives. And, part of it, of course, it's natural. But obviously you can't be involved with the same intensity. But we should not forget about them. Maybe make it a practice at least once a month, or I'll share something about it once a week. I'll share something about what's happening there, or do something about it, become a part of a local Palestinian rights organization to be more regular in it, because Israel is counting on this, that they will go and beat Gaza up whenever they want, and then they know after a little while you will forget about it. So then they can go back in a little while again. But if we are constantly, raising our voices about it, they're not going to be able to do what they do every few years. And as Sister Sarah is saying, If the war is finished, doesn't mean the apartheid is finished. They're still under a blockade. They still can't get out. They're still taking, their land is still being stolen from them every day.
Yeah.
So, Sister Sarah, we talked about a lot of hardships and difficulties there. Do you guys enjoy yourself there with your families and so on? What do you do for enjoyment to have a happy life, even in this situation?
Yeah, we have weddings and we have parties and we have like graduation parties and yeah, and we have family gatherings as well. And yeah.
Make the best out of this situation as well. So, a lot of the time in our minds, the picture of Palestinians might be that they're just sad all the time. And so there might be fear in your heart, but you still have a smile on your face and you're still living your life, going to school, going to colleges. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Because we came to believe to the point that we will not allow the occupation to steal our happiness, our smiles, even though of all the oppression that's going on and of all the unfair and injustice that's going on. So we feel like we are resisting and we are fighting when we are going to school and we are trying our best to live and be happy. And it's like a form of resistance against them. And that makes them angry, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Ishal, your next question.
Okay. So if you ever went to Jerusalem, what were your feelings? Like, what did you feel?
So, yeah, even though Jerusalem is the capital of Palestine and it's away from me maybe less than 2 hours, but I only visited once when I was in 8th grade. I felt a mixture of happiness, peace, and anger, disappointment. I was really mad at the occupation and the borders. And I saw it was unfair because this holy place, this religious, peaceful, beautiful place is in my country and I cannot even visit. I cannot enjoy it. It was for a short period and I was really mad. And I hope one day Palestine is free and we all can go and pray there together. So it's hard.
It's one of my dreams to go to Jerusalem, but it's actually pretty scary. So the next question: are there enough universities and colleges? Tell us about the education. Like, your English is so good. We found so many other Palestinians, but they all know Arabic. So how do you know such well English?
So for my English, we have, I was enrolled in a scholarship called Access, and it's like a program for teaching American English. And then I was an exchange student 2 years ago in the United States. I lived with an American family that supports Palestine for a year with the YES scholarship. I don't know if you hear it, but it's funded by the American government. So I was an exchange student in the United States to help tell people about our issue and tell them more about Palestine and just inform them.
She's actually really surprising. I was confused, like she knows such well English and this education problem. So the last question. Tell us about the COVID situation. Like, is there health care about for corona vaccination?
They recently provided us with the vaccines. through the Palestinian Authority, and they are encouraging people to take the vaccine, and I'm planning to take it soon. And yeah, but unfortunately, it's just spreading so fast. Yesterday, we had 1,000 new cases in Gaza and 5 deaths, sadly. And because people are just not taking as much precautions as they did at the beginning of the pandemic, and because Gaza is just blocked and sieged in like in one small place with a lot of people, and it's so dense, so it's just spreading so fast among people.
I felt like Corona would be like, okay, they already have enough to worry about.
Okay, Rija also had a question. Isha also let her ask her question. And then Samia has also one question.
The question was how was COVID in Palestine, but then
Oh yeah, it got answered. Okay, Samia.
How is the war having a toll on your mental health?
How is my mental health?
How's the war having a toll on your mental health, on Palestinians' mental health? Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, I sometimes have nightmares, remembering the sounds of the bombings or the memories of the war and the pictures of the killing and the blood and stuff. And a lot of people are like having post-traumatic like disorders or something. They have panic attacks sometimes. And even like we didn't have war, I now can hear the drones in our sky. They are always there. They got their eyes on us 24/7. They are always there watching us. And it's really scary because sometimes they just bomb randomly places, even if we are not at war. So yeah, it's always under pressure.
Okay. Would anybody like to say last words to Sister Sarah? Anything you would like to say to her before we move on? Or any questions you have, please do share in the comments. Muaz, how about you read some of the comments?
From Ahmed Amin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and give you strength, my sister Sarah.
Yeah, I'm reading the comments now, and I'm just really thankful for you guys, and thanks for all your prayers. And I'm just only asking for you to keep doing what you're doing and just telling more people about it. You're just doing awesome, raising awareness about our situation here in Gaza and in Palestine.
So Fatima said, you are very brave, Sarah. Ashfa said, may Allah bless you, Sarah. Zahra is asking, do you ever think this will stop?
I do not know when is that going to end, but I know that we will not give up. I mean, for us, it's not going to end until we set the whole of Palestine free. I think that's the ending point for us. That's the finishing line. Before that, I don't think we're gonna like give up or stop resisting.
Absolutely.
And that is
So I see a question that says, what do you feel about Israeli people? Someone asked that.
Yes, Tanzil's asked that, yeah.
Yeah, so there are some Israeli people who are raising awareness about the apartheid, and they're against what their governments do. And I don't have a problem with those people. I have a problem with like the people who kill Palestinians, who are doing injustice against us. And a lot of people get like confused between Judaism or Zionism. We are only against Zionism. The Zionists who came as gangs to kick Palestinians out of their homeland. But we're not against Jewish people. Jewish people are, like, a lot of them are supporting Palestine and are against what the Israeli government is based upon, the apartheid, the killing, the oppression, the humiliation, the segregation. They're against all of this injustice. So we are only against Zionism and just, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of du'as for you there. Sister Samrat said, a voice of Palestine will keep growing until Palestine is free. So proud of your strength. Stay strong. Our faith is that it will be free soon, inshallah.
Thank you.
Shazleen Shabi said, we are Malaysian, and we stand with Palestine till our last breath. Willow said, we will never forget our people, our land, and our Aqsa, never. One Mu'adz, how about you read the rest?
Yeah. From Zulaiha, salam from Malaysia. Don't worry, we are always stand with you, Sarah. We're trying to help Palestine from dua and financial to support you, to support your country, inshallah.
So I see a comment that says, Israel wants Palestine out of its map because, yeah, they want, so let's be clear about this. For us, there is no Israel. You cannot say that Palestine is in the middle of Israel because Israel was all of it named Palestine. This land from the river to the sea was called Palestine until 1948. And then, yeah, just don't mix it up. It's not Israel and then Palestine. Israel was based upon Palestine. So even the lands that are on the map, the modern maps that says Israel, that was once in Palestine. Yeah, so I just wanted to clarify this.
Great. Jazakallah khair, Sister Sarah, for your time here today. Everybody has a lot of du'as for you. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you strong and reward you immensely for your strength and give freedom to Palestine very soon, much sooner than any one of us ever expected. And keep you guys strong. We really appreciate the time you took for informing us, for inspiring us. Who feels inspired here today? I feel really inspired.
Yeah, so just brighten up my day. Thank you. I feel supported.
Absolutely. Our support is always there with you. I know sometimes we fall short, but our du'as constantly. Rija, mashallah, I remember last week Rija was telling me every day I make du'a for, every salah I make du'a for Palestine. So, and I'm sure she's not only one, and a lot of these children, every day they're making du'a for Palestine. So may Allah.
Sorry, Assalamu alaikum, sister. Sorry, I just want to, my son has a message. Please.
Yeah,
Umar. Yep, talk.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Come on, say.
I'm happy for Palestine people to make prayers from dua together.
Sorry, he's sorry, Ariba. He's 8 years old. His name is Umar, and he's autistic, so his speech is not clear. But yeah, he kept on crying whole time in this session. So he wanted to say something.
We appreciate it. So, you know, look at guys. I know I don't want you to be too sad about it, right? You have a look at these rising heroes. They have been studying this problem, they've been researching it, brainstorming solutions for it, and then they decided we're going to do this online protest. So instead of being sad and feeling helpless, what can we do, what's going to happen, even look at Sister Sarah. She was not sad. Yeah, she was worried, right? But she was smiling, and she told you about how they are still living their life. They're still enjoying their life. They still smile. They still enjoy their life with their families, right? They're not like going into like, that's it, life is over, let's all just be sad all the time. That's not life there, and that should not be our lives as well. We are grateful to Allah. So don't cry, instead act. Take action, like you are taking action today, right? It's a challenge for all of us. And as you can see, these rising heroes past 8 weeks, they dedicated themselves to this cause, and they created this solution, right? So similarly, you take action for it, not just sit there and just feel sad, but take action. Doesn't matter what age you are. These guys are so young, right? They created it all. I was just watching them most of the time. So mashallah. Similarly, you can do incredible things by yourselves to raise awareness about this, and this challenge that they have given you is a way for you to do that as well. Okay, back to Ayat, for our Jazakallah Khair Ishal for inviting Sister Sarah. She got in touch with her, she invited her, and it was all Ishal. Well done, Ishal, and giving us this wonderful guest who really inspired us so much. Yes, back to Ayat.
Okay, thank you, Sarah and Ishal. Now we've got Ahsan, who's going to be asking questions to the people who are watching us. You can answer in the chat box.
So it's a bit of a discussion section, so not like a Q&A. Don't worry. So go ahead, Ahsan.
Okay, my name is Ahsan, and I'll be leading the discussion. So my first question will be, why do you think Israelis and Palestinians are fighting? You can write your answers in the chat box. Anyone can answer.
So please share in the chat box.
Okay, Miss Ariba.
Yes, Ishal.
Okay, Sarah sent me this message and she said, I'm sorry, the internet is so bad. I do not think I'm able to get back in.
That's
Is
okay.
that enough? Send everyone my salam. Thanks a lot for inviting me to this online protest. I am thankful to all of you.
Say our salams back to her. Really appreciate her time. Okay. Ehsan, you want to read some of your answers here in the comments?
Yes. Okay. From Khadija and Omar. Khadija or Omar. Israel is fighting for land and Palestine is fighting for peace. Rija said, I think because they just want land slowly and slowly. Hashim and Ghalib said, land. They want land. Mahveen said, because, oh my God. Because they want all of the Palestinian land. Tanzil said, Israel is fighting for nothing. They just want to impose their power. Rija again said they want power and land. Okay, any other answers?
Puteri Doha said because Israel is stealing land.
Puteri said because Israel is stealing Palestine's land. Okay, what's that big thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Mafin also said they want Palestine off their map. So yeah, that's all the answers.
Okay. How about your next question?
Okay. Now my next question is, how do you think the conflict started in the first place?
You see the answers, Ehsan?
Hmm.
So how about you start reading them?
Okay. The question is that how did the conflict start in the first place? How did the conflict start? Who started it? Israel, of course. So we don't know who. Okay. Anyone can state their opinion. Okay, now I'll read answers. Okay. Puteri said because Palestine is helping Israel, and Ghazal's iPhone said it started with greed of having more land by Israel, and Wanda said Great Britain gave the land which was not theirs to begin with to Israel. Tanzil said due to the British leaving a huge power gap between Israel and Palestine. Puteri said to come and say tea with them. Don't know what that means. Okay, Hajira said when the Palestinian land was given to the Israelis. Okay. And Sarmad said calling it conflict is not correct. It is occupation and apartheid. Okay. Rija said it started with greed of Israel again. Okay. Mahfeen said Palestine started and Israel wanted to get them back, but then got more and more greedy. Sarah bid Sheikh said when Palestine allowed them to share or to give refuge to Israelis. Khadija and Umar said, I think the conflict started because Britain colonized Palestine and then gave half to Israel. Okay. Sarah Musa said, because the number of Muslims were increasing. Fatima and Javeria said, Israel wanted land to rule over people there. Hashim and Ghalib, Israelis came to Palestine and occupied it. A lot of answers. Ghazal's iPhone, Israelis were refugees there and now they are trying to be the owner by taking innocent people's lives. Yeah, that's all the answers. Okay, my next question is, why is Israel occupying the Palestinian territories?
What do they want? Why are they occupying them? Why do they want that? What is your opinion?
Because Puteri said, because they want our holy land. They're just greedy and just jealous to steal land by Ghazal's iPhone. And Wanda said, greed, power, apartheid until they squeeze Palestinians out. Fatima and Javeria, they want power and land and triumph. Okay, to triumph. Okay, Ishal said, they think they can rule over everyone. Mehveen said, they want to destroy their homes and put Israeli people in them and also for Al-Aqsa Mosque. Sarah bint Sheikh said, to show their power and suppress the Palestinians to leave their homes. And Tanzil said, they want full control over Palestine by settling Israelis in this way. It becomes easier to take over the land. Hashim and Ghalib, they have no land, so they want to steal our holy land. Sarmad said, they have the wrath of Allah to not have land of their own until day of judgment. They try, but soon they'll fail again. Sarah Musa said they want Palestine to leave their land and live there.
Okay. Next question, Hassan.
My next question is, why is there so much fighting today in these days between Israel and Gaza?
Right now, yeah, I mean, think about it. What was the real motivation behind the last war? Was there something happening in Israel at that time? Who knows about that?
What was the next question again?
Why is there so much conflict right now? What do you think was it like the reason of like these wars every few years? Israel just had elections, right? And you can see every few years when they have election, they go and beat up, right? Gazan people.
Yeah.
Do something like, something, and this conflict started, by them taking over more land and so on. But as Wanda said, PM is corrupt and was meant to stand trial. So the war was just a cover up for this. So they made it part of their, charging people up, and their kids are studying about this at school. I was telling these guys earlier about, I live in Australia. And one day I was distributing these flyers to people about Palestine. And people just take it or not take it, right? There comes this guy who's like, I gave him the flyer and he's like, do you know who I am? And I'm like, I don't know who you are. I thought maybe he's like, a minister or something. I live in the capital of Australia, so lots of ministers are hanging around here. Yeah, maybe somebody in the government or something. I said, like, no, I don't know who you are. And he said, I am an Israeli soldier. And he had a big smile on his face. Like, I'm an Israeli soldier. So I said, then you should definitely take this. Then he said, I just smiled and said, you should definitely take this flyer then. And then he says, no, I should go back and kill some more. So, how, and he had a big smile on his face as he said that. So how come he has so much hatred in his heart? Because, kids there, when they're little kids from that time, they're studying about hating Palestinians, right? So, of course, our goal here is not to hate Israelis or Jewish people. We don't want to become like them. But, you can see that how the state of that country, that there is so much hatred in their hearts. And so the government there uses it, right? And every time they're fighting election, they try to spread more hatred, divide people with that, provoke people with that, and so on. And their politics is now all about beating up Palestinians, basically. So it's really terrible for those people. Imagine living with so much hatred in your heart for another human being, another population of human being. So of course it hurts them more in ways that we don't realize yet, because we have not felt that hatred. Of course, it kills their soul in so many levels, that they live with that kind of hatred in their heart from when they're young. But yeah, I just want to say, we are doing this protest, we're talking about them as an enemy and so on. And yes, we hate what they're doing, but I don't want you to become like them, that we hate them just for who they are. Maybe some Israelis are actually very supportive of Palestinians, right? So we understand, that, how they've grown up and so on. And we deal with, as Prophet Muhammad SAW dealt with his worst enemies, with mercy. That doesn't mean we give in and we don't stand up against them, but we deal with them with mercy, not with hatred. Okay. Sorry, Essen, do you have another question?
I have one more question.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, why does this violence keep on happening?
Yeah, and what can we do about it? How do we stop it? Why is it happening? Why doesn't it stop already? What can we be doing better to stop it?
Miss, I don't feel nervous at all. I've been practicing for so long.
Alhamdulillah. I'm glad to know that. And that's a lesson for everybody. Hassan, when we did it first time, this is like we did a practice round as well. Hassan's heart was thumping. And now, alhamdulillah. So sometimes you guys might be scared to stand up for other people, but the more you do it, inshallah, the more you will get out of your comfort zone and easier it will become. We don't stop standing up for others because we are afraid. We do it despite we are afraid, and that's courage. So please share, what are your thoughts? How can we make things better? Yes, Essen, continue reading, please.
Okay. Wanda said, because we rally and support, then we forget, start, then move on with our live lives. We can not forget, and our voices need to be respectfully strong. Ghazal's iPhone said, Essen, you're doing a great job. Thank you. And Sarah Musa said, because they never got what they wanted. Juan Muad said, because they want the Palestinians to give up. Samad said, keep doing like today, raising awareness like rising heroes.
Yeah.
Yashal said, standing up against Israel and saying in our local news. Fatima Juweria, because Israeli soldiers are corrupted. Reja Samad said, spread awareness.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, everybody. Now, and one of the things Rising Heroes are also doing is writing articles for newspapers. So they have got some really interesting topics like comparing a Malaysian kid's life to a Palestinian kid's life. What if, a dream of a better Palestine? They're writing articles. They're going to submit to newspapers, local newspapers, inshallah. And that's something all of you watching right now can do as well. Write an article, submit to your newspaper in an opinion piece as well. Okay. Jazakallah khair, Ehsan, for the discussion. It was very beneficial. Everybody got to have their say. We really appreciate everybody who participated. Back to you, Ayat.
Okay, so Hadra has one of hers article that she made to read to you.
There we go. We have an article. Great. Hajra, go ahead.
Okay, so.
Oh.
It says, have you ever thought about the people in Palestine?
I think Hajra may be better because you're.
You probably want to mute.
Okay.
Because you're sitting together on two different devices. One of you needs to disconnect.
I'll just leave.
Yeah, Ayat. Who left? Hajra left? Oh no, Hajra is here. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. It says, have you ever thought about the people in Palestine? The people there not knowing whether they have tomorrow to live. Bombs falling on people's houses and streets being watched by the Israeli military. People who rebel get arrested instead. When they go to prison, they get mercilessly beaten up. When their houses get blown up, they have to live in refugee camps. Children don't get the education that they need and are as healthy because of the food. They don't get to eat enough. The parents are depressed and wish that they could give a better life to their children. The Palestinians want one thing, freedom and the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants. Thank you for listening.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Now, who wrote? So a few weeks ago, we did a campaign, Letters of Hope, just after the war, where kids wrote letters and we sent them to Gaza. They were printed in Gaza. We took a pic. You sent us pictures of your letters, or wrote them, and then we printed them in Gaza, and they were translated and given to children. And anybody here among the people who wrote the letters? Who's here who wrote some letters? Oh, yes, of course. Jazakallah khair, Hajra. Well done. Sorry, I'm rushing now because we need to finish soon. Anybody here? Okay, great. So we got those letters in the hands of children, alhamdulillah. And we have got the short video back from Gaza. And we have got loads of pictures. So I'll send you the website where we put the pictures, and I'll show you that video right now. Even the girl, so many of us would have seen her on TV, Nadine, who said, I'm a 10-year-old girl, what can I do? She got her letter, and it was from a girl in Australia, and she was very happy. She, in fact, wants to write back to that girl. Okay, so these are children in Gaza who were afflicted by that war a little while ago. And you can see they all have, there are so many pictures, and we are still actually uploading more and more pictures for you guys. I'll give you a link, and go and see if you can find your letter in the hand of one of the children. You might have to see a lot of pictures. Some are written, right? Like this one. They were not drawings, so it might be a little bit hard, but inshallah, I hope you can find your letter here. And we are still adding more. Let me show you this video. Now, this actually, what they did a little program in Gaza for the children whose homes were bombarded and they lost their homes. So what they did is they got the kids together because they were living in a shelter, temporary shelter. They got them together and they did a fun day for them, like a fun event for them. And in that fun event, then they gave them these letters. So they, mashallah, because of your letters, they also got to organize something so beautiful. So here it is. Let me unmute. These in folders are your letters. I'm sorry about the music, but that's how we got it. I just want to show you what we got. They made these gift bags for children, putting, they give them a little bit of a gift and also put a letter in each bag. Those bags in their hands there have your letters in them. So alhamdulillah, not only did we get to give the letters, but alhamdulillah, we got this event organized. So really appreciate your effort. And those children, as you can see, they were really moved, really touched. They never get to hear from outside world. They never get to visit anybody, never get to meet different people, but they got your letters, and I'm sure they're going to keep them for the rest of their lives, very precious, close to their heart. So well done to everybody. Okay, back to you, Ayat.
Okay, just 1 minute. So now we have Mahveen, who's going to say 3 solutions to Palestinian problems.
3 ways we
So,
can solve this
Mahveen.
problem. Mehveen?
Yes, solutions.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm proposing the following 3 solutions for helping the people of Palestine. Number 1, the Palestinian people have been losing their land and housing to Israel settlers for decades, and illegal settlements being constructed on their lands. The houses that were destroyed need to be rebuilt in order to provide them respectable accommodation through which they can live normal lives again. Number 2, Palestinians do not have consistent access to clean drinking water, and that which is also needed for the purposes of farming. Because they do not have open access to the water from the nearby Jordan River, we will need to dig wells to access the underground water sources. And this will allow Palestinians to become less dependent on food from outside and be self-sufficient through food and security. And number 3, the people of Palestine have lost a significant number of schools and hospitals through Israeli bombing raids. This has led to reduced education options for the Palestinians, and there is poor healthcare in general. Palestinians are hence unable to get good jobs or live healthy lives due to a lack of these important institutions. Rebuilding these will lead to an overall increase in the quality of their lives. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair, Mehveen, for those advice. Back to you, Ayat.
Okay, so
yeah, unfortunately, we had a game for you guys, game cook, but that member's not here, so we're gonna skip that. It's also quite late now, so let's wrap up now. Ayat, thank everybody, and we can end our today's event.
thank you everyone for joining our Palestinian protest. I hope you all are going to share this continuously so that Palestinian people aren't left all alone. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you can make a bigger change.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give great success to the Palestinians and free them. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us raise our voices for them and never forget them. So I would also like to thank everybody for coming and showing your support to Palestinians and to the children, the rising heroes who organized this. Without you, this event couldn't have been how great it was today. We hope you really benefited, and you're more aware and you're more inspired, right? Who's leaving more inspired?
Miss Ariba? There's this one dua I need to tell everybody that they can do to help
Yes,
Palestine.
I forgot about that. Yes, please go ahead. That's a great ending. Yeah.
Okay, so there's this one dua which says, "Oh Allah, rectify the affairs of the Muslims in Palestine. Oh Allah, rectify the affairs of the Muslims in Palestine and every place.
Ameen.
Oh Lord,
Everybody please say Ameen in the chat. Yeah, go ahead.
Ameen. Oh Lord of majesty and bounty."
Ameen. Okay, Jazakallah khair, Mehveen, for that dua. It was very important. Thank you for that. And please continue making your duas, and make dua for all these rising heroes. It didn't just happen today, this protest. It's been 8 weeks of work from their part, and consistent work. This is not easy, but they gave up Roblox and Among Us and at least for some part of their day to be consistent in this effort and make this happen today. So we really appreciate your support, right? Do you guys, rising heroes, do you appreciate everybody who came here and showed you their support?
Yes.
Please thank them for coming.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thanks
Yes,
for coming.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for all your time.
Thank you for watching the talk show.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming and watching us.
And tomorrow we have, tomorrow we have a carnival. We'd love for you to be there as well. That's It's an Islamic carnival. It has lots of games, if some Islamic story, and art, craft, cooking, like everything.
I'm going to join.
Yeah, it's actually, we are doing that to raise money for two orphanages, one in Pakistan, one in Kenya. We have actually met the orphans in Kenya. They came to our class as well. And the kids, their other rising heroes, actually it's another team who came up with this idea to raise funds for orphan children. Those orphan children, they are so poor and in such a bad condition that we were told, we even have a clip of that video on our website of Carnival. You can go to imanpower.com/events to register. A little while ago, they asked their orphanage people to give them eggs and apples because they don't even get that. Every day they're eating the same food. And they're Muslim children, all of them. And they read the Quran and everything. But unfortunately, they don't have a lot of funds. They don't get all that you get. So they were just so happy to even get these apples and oranges. These are the children. And here is a little clip of them just being so happy to get apples and oranges.
Apple. Your wish has come true.
Imagine being so happy.
Bad manners. Nobody should put a hand in here. Paka mimi niseme atakayeweka mkono pa ana tabia mbaya.
I'm so happy to see eggs.
Hizi zote ni zenu na hizi zote nyinyi mutaku. Nisendi na kitu hapa. Mimi I want to make you people happy. Happy. Maana happy nini? Happy ni mayai. Thank you. Thank you. Gunga.
Right? And we met these kids, alhamdulillah, the sister who runs this orphanage. She came to the class and she got us connected to the orphanage. These kids were in the class. We talked to them as well. And, they just like, they have the same desires as you. They want to be doctor, teacher, soldiers, all kinds of stuff, pilots. And but they don't have the same life as you. So we are just doing this to, give them some gifts, give them some things that make them happy. And another team of children just like you have organized this creative way to do that. So you get to have fun and you get rewarded for having that fun. So please register to that. It's on tomorrow. It will be a fun hour for you. And in that fun, we get to help them and earn the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if somebody can please put the link in the chat from my team, people can go and join us tomorrow as well. Okay, Jazakallah khair, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for coming to. Yes, class is not dismissed. By the way, Rising Heroes, you stay on. Don't leave the class.
Okay, Hashim, just want to say thank you. We're reading your book, Power of Salah. And we're enjoying it. Thank you so much.
Jazakallah khair.
Thank you for your time, everyone.
You do better in your salah, inshallah.
I never knew you were a writer. You were a writer?
Wow. Okay, Rising Heroes, you stay on. Please don't leave. We